Hey, welcome back everyone here to the Coaches Show at Westside Grill, located in Bruce. Jeremy, real quick, we want to talk about the 10th annual Joe Horn Christmas Classic going on in Columbus. A lot of people wondering why. We'll talk about this, but this is a big-time Christmas Classic. The Calumet City Wildcats are participating in. They're taking on Gadsden, Alabama, a 6A school out of Alabama there. Calumet City classified 2A, but with 1A classification, basically changing around there. Big opportunity here for the Calumet City Wildcats, not only to make some noise in the state of Mississippi, but in the South.
Well, this is a chance for them to really prove themselves, because I think coming back, they're one of the favorites this year, along with Coahoma County, who's also participating in this tournament. And one thing that Coach Coffey has going for him, he's got his football players there, so a big challenge for him. But I believe they're the defending 6A champions in Alabama.
Absolutely. Of course, the other games going on, you've got Richwood, Louisiana versus East Tibahaw, one of the favorites in 1A. That's in boys action. And then you also got Starkville versus Piney Woods. That could be a huge ball game there. Probably the highlight of the night is going to be Coahoma County versus Provine. So these are all going on December the 16th. Of course, Calumet City plays at 1. Then you've got the next game being Columbus versus Coahoma County girls at 2:30. 4 o'clock, Richwood, Louisiana versus East Tibahaw. 5:30, Starkville versus Piney Wood. And then 7 p.m., you've got Coahoma County versus Provine. And then 8:30 p.m., Columbus versus Marion, Arkansas. So this is almost a collection of some of the top teams in the South. You talk about it, this is a big stepping stone for Coach Coffey and Calumet City as a basketball program to be recognized in this type of tournament.
And this is a great chance if you like basketball, especially if you live in the Columbus area. Come out, you will not see any finer athletes than you will in this tournament. Provine, Pineywood, Calhoun City, Coahoma County. Take a look at it again. You've got Gadsden from the 6A team from Alabama, Starkville. This outstanding collection of teams, and it will give you a good gauge too at where the favorites are. It's kind of early in the basketball season, especially for us. We've only done a couple of games here and there, but it'll really pick up after this tournament, after the break. And it's a good chance, kind of at the halfway point, to gauge and see where some of these teams are, especially for Calhoun City, going up against the Goliath, so to speak, and really a chance for them to show the rest of the state that they mean business up here in 2A.
Absolutely. I got a chance to talk to Coach Coffey today out at Calumet City. He talked about how he basically would put his team up against anybody at any time. Not going to finish that quote out there for certain personal reasons, but this is a good opportunity right here to just go ahead.
You're not a Southern Miss fan?
Not a Southern Miss fan, but Stephen Chris voicing his own opinion over there. But anyway, this is a good opportunity to really showcase somebody like a Dante Jennings, who is starting to get a lot of attention, being almost close to the type of point guard you need in big-time basketball.
And we were talking about this last night. He's a guy, he's a stocky guy. He can post you up. He can shoot the basketball. He's quick. One thing he needs to show scouts is that he can play defense on the other end as well, because he's got everything you want offensively in a true point guard. I think if he can show these scouts that, and what a better way to do it, because there are going to be a lot of scouts crawling at this tournament here in Columbus. If he can have himself a very good basketball game and leave the scouts very impressed, he can really start to see his stock skyrocket.
Absolutely. So all the Calumet City fans, get out there Saturday, support Calumet City in this ball game. As you said, almost a David Berthas Goliath here, 6A team out of Alabama versus
basically, let's go and call them a 1A, because that's pretty much what they are.
Absolutely. So we want to wish the best of luck to Calumet City in those ball games. But also coming up over the Christmas break, we'll have the Loggins Classic, then the Battle of the Best in Pontotoc. So a lot of good basketball action throughout Northeast Mississippi to go out and see over the holidays.
And that's one of the great things about the holidays. You're off from school for a couple of weeks, and what better way to spend it? Go play some basketball against some quality opponents in a couple of these tournaments. Always a big draw. You get a chance to go out and see a lot of different teams and see where they stack up at the halfway point and measure them when they finish the season and see how they improved or if they've fallen off any at all.
Absolutely. And once again, we're at the Coaches Show here at Westside Grill in Bruce, 983-2828, located across from Sonic. Little Charles, always glad to have people come by and check us out. And you're welcome to come by during the shows. We normally tape on Monday nights at 6 or 5:30 or 6. Had to change it up this week, but we'll probably be back on schedule next week. Go ahead and talk about something going on. We're trying to get worked up for next week's show. For the first time since 1957, no Calumet City versus Bruce for the next 2 years in football.
And travesty is about the first word that comes to my mind. That's absolutely ridiculous that you would take away one of the best rivalries, not only in the North Part, but in the entire state. I've talked about this in my 2 years of working here. I've never seen a rivalry, and I'm from a small town in South Mississippi. Mendenhall and McGee is one of the top 10 rivalries, no doubt, in the state of Mississippi. But when you think of a rivalry, especially in a small state, in a small county, you think Bruce and Calhoun City. I was extremely impressed when able to do the Skuna River Rivalry a couple of years ago at Bruce. Calhoun City going and ending a 5-game losing streak, but just the amount of support that you get. Bruce shuts down that entire day. Calhoun City shuts down. Everybody goes to one place. It's 5,000 people. It means so much. The kids grow up knowing everybody. You go up and you get a chance to play in that game. And I guess my question is, why would you do that? It kind of seems kind of elementary, but I mean, it's the point. Why would you that? You wouldn't do that in college. Why do that in high school when the towns thrive off of some of these things?
Absolutely. Just to clarify this, the reason why it's come about in 1A, Calhoun City has shifted down to 1A. Unfortunately, they were given the last week 11, as their off week compared to one of the first weeks of the year. Whenever you could have had the Bruce Calhoun City matchup, but week 11, Bruce is going to be in the playoffs. Calhoun City, it's going to be hard to find an opponent. Not only is that going to be tough for Calhoun City to basically lose that money, or both Bruce and Calhoun City lose that gate, but you think about it, Calhoun City's going to lose a lot of momentum going into the playoffs with basically nobody to play.
Absolutely, and you certainly don't want to just have them not play anybody at all, because then you talked about, I mean, you can get rusty. It can really affect how they play in the playoffs. And I understand that the one, Calhoun City's now 1A, Bruce is 2A, but you can find a way around that. If the Mississippi High School Athletic Association truly cared about its players and its coaches, they would find every way possible. And it's not that much of a hassle to fix a couple of team schedules, and it's not like you have to change the whole system in order to fix that one rivalry. You could switch the off weeks, and you give those two teams a chance to make some money at the end of the year and continue a great rivalry.
Absolutely. Of course, we're looking at it from the sports fans' point of view. Let's look at it from, of course, you live in Oxford, but living in Calhoun County. Say for Calhoun City or for the city of Bruce, and for both schools, this is, especially for a school like Calhoun City, this is going to take a lot of money out of their, I guess you say, their funds for the football program. Granted, shifting down to 1A, they'll still have Oklahoma, Vardaman, East Webster, and schools like that. But, I mean, you could be looking at losing upwards of possibly close to $8,000 to $10,000 out of your budget over the next 2 years.
And you throw in those teams you talked about, Vardaman, Oklahoma, some other teams, that's all well and good. And Calhoun City and Vardaman played a great game last year. It drew a lot of people at the gate, but it's not going to be the same thing as Bruce and Calhoun City. And I think that everybody knows that. When you get, we talked about it this year. Calhoun City came in, they had won 9 straight or 10 straight. Bruce came in, they improved late in the season, and it turned out to be a 13-7 ball game, I believe, or 13-6 or somewhere around there. And that's the mark of a great rivalry. You literally throw out the records and just play the game. But to bring it back to a gate standpoint, you can probably add up the amount of money that they're going to take in from the Vardaman game, the Oklahoma game, add it up, and it might not be as much as one game against Bruce. And I think that's just where, and I think both schools thrive off that. It can help the community. It gives the kids more exposure. It gives them a chance to play in something that's truly special. Because that's one of the great things about high school, especially if you play football. You grow up in a small town in a football state like Mississippi, and you get a chance to play for 4 years against your biggest rival, and nothing can beat that.
Absolutely. They are trying to work out a deal where I think it's either in the fall or spring where they do basically have a unofficial full-fledged football game. But you look at it, there's no win or loss to go on your record for it. Of course, they're not in the same division anymore, regions anymore. So, the whole playoff picture's out of the ball game. This is going to be a lackluster Skuna River Rivalry. And, can basically an exhibition game replace the type of money that these schools are going to lose?
And the answer is no, without a doubt. It's not going to. You can't really replace that, because it's all about, you're really going to want to play, get up and gear up for a football game in March. You're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to wait and do it when everybody else is playing football. Because that's just the way it is. And plus, it's better that way. But I mean, they can play an exhibition game. Would love to be there. Hope if they do and we get everything worked out, we can go and cover that ball game. But it's still not going to be the same type of ball game it would be if it were at the end of the year, the last game for both teams, and had implications.
Absolutely. Now we look at it, you touched on it a while ago. This is one of those situations where the Mississippi High School Activity Association should step in and say, all right, this has been a long-running tradition. It's good for the schools. It's good for the communities, especially a small community like this. They should step in and say, all right, we're going to make it a point where these two teams can play, whether it be the first game of the year, second, third, these two teams right here need to play.
Absolutely, and it's tradition. That's one of the great things. We pride ourselves, as Southerners, so to speak, is we don't like change, obviously, and changing this up after 57 straight years, is utterly insane. And the point that we're making is that if the Mississippi High School Athletic Association truly, I believe, if they truly cared, and if it wasn't about dollar signs, or power, a power prestige, this would have been corrected, or it would have never been brought about in the first place. And this falls on Dr. Proctor and everybody around him, to get this thing corrected and make sure something like this doesn't happen again, because you've got a lot of complaints in other areas. We had Coach Hill on tonight about the reclassifications. There's just a mistake after mistake after mistake of not really taking a look at things and examining them properly.
Absolutely. Saying just basically get more input from the people that it actually affects instead of the people that make the decisions the way they are. Well, we're going to take a quick break here from the Coach Show. We owe you another commercial break, and we'll come back. If we have any time left, just hit some final thoughts on, I guess you say, on the football season, and look ahead at the all-area show, which will be coming your way in 2007. So we'll take you to a quick break. Be back with more right after this. Hey, kids. What's going on? You guys not remember we're taping a show here? I mean, but that's okay, though. Just chill. I see that I've interrupted your guys' lunch here. Jeremy, you do remember we got a show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, what are you boys eating?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers. Any cornerstone to a nutritional lunch. What kind of hamburgers are you eating?
Cheeseburgers.
Not what kind. Where'd you get it from?
West Side Grill and Bruce.
So I take it that's your burger there.
Yeah.
Mind if I try a bite? Hey Steven, you want to buy this burger?
Yeah.
You sure? Because they're pretty tasty.
I'm not hungry.
All right, man, but if you're ever hungry, you should check them out. Pretty tasty burger. You know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France?
Life is full of major moments. Some you could do without, and some you'll treasure. So for those times when your life seems to blaze out of control, and for those times when all of your hard work pays off, remember who's been by your side yesterday and today, and who'll be there tomorrow. Your Farm Bureau Insurance Agent. Some people just make your life better.
King's Tire in Houston, offering the largest selection of used and new tires. They carry all sizes of many name brand tires. All used tires carry a 30-day warranty. They also offer rotation and balancing. King's Tire is also your place for car and motorcycle brakes and motorcycle tires. They offer windshield replacement and they do 24-hour car door unlocking. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday until lunch on Saturday. Closed on Wednesdays. They accept Visa and MasterCard. See owners Reggie and Martha Callahan at King's Tire on the southeast corner of the square in Houston. Renaissance Bank in Calhoun City. The name is new, but they still offer the same great service. Totally free checking, savings account, and CDs, home loans and business loans, 24-hour ATM inside, and drive-through window for your convenience. Jimmy Clemens invites you to come by and visit all the staff. Rhonda Ray, Sandra Doolittle, Jennifer Parker, Penny Nichols, Mary Johnson, and Robbie Winter. Come see them today for all of your financial needs or call them at 628-6692. Highway 8 East in Calhoun City, that's Renaissance Bank.
You know, being teammates is about more than just helping each other win races every week. It's also about helping each other learn.
That's right. Michael has taught me that Napa parts are as good or better than the parts that came on your own car, and that Napa parts professionals can always help you get the job done right the first time.
Yeah, and Junior taught me how to do this.
I'm not taking credit for that. That needs just a little work there, bud.
And welcome back to the Coaches Show here at Westside Grill. Jeremy Kennedy, Adam Gore on hand. We've got Adam Hamilton here as well as Stephen Chris helping us out tonight. And Jeremy, pretty much just a few minutes left here in the show. Coming up in the 2007 sports season, we'll have our all-area football team. Got it picked all but a few spots here, but exciting year football-wise. Of course, the new Coaches Show, we're going to be a little bit more broad, not just focus on football coming in the future, but focus on it now. Could be a pretty interesting show.
Absolutely, because as we talked about last week, it went down to some of the games in Jackson to decide some key positions. You got a lot of talented. Think about the quarterback position. You got Jamie Boland at Nettleton, Malcolm Bellum at Calhoun City, Terrence Jones at Vardaman. You got two teams, three quarterbacks. We'll find a way to get them on there, though. We've got some ways to get them on there. But you talk about every position is so difficult to get the best players on there. And we had Coach Hill on tonight. He's got a couple of players that will have their names on the team, and a couple that may surprise you from other schools as well. So it's a tough decision we had to make, but in the end, I think that we came up with a pretty good football team, and again, it's just a credit to the players and the coaches for having great seasons.
Absolutely, and so we talk about this show, it's going to become a lot more broader. We might even slip up, start talking about some college situations in football, as well as more, I guess you say, not controversial, but more issues of sports versus focusing on ball games. And if you'd like to come join us, we're going to start taping the shows Monday nights at 6, unless otherwise noted. But if you'd like to email us questions or a topic you would like to see us discuss here, you can send it to tv7@tycom.net. Stephen Chris will get that. That's tv7@tycom.net. And Jeremy, there's a whole lot that we can talk about, and some things we might even have to bite our tongue on a few times.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I know you and I are probably thinking about right now that may change some things and change the way we handle certain aspects of what we do later on, but hopefully everything will get resolved the way it should be. And the bottom line is, if things were handled properly in the right way and they were truly concerned about the kids and coaches, we wouldn't have a lot to gripe about.
Absolutely. So we're going to take an end of the show on that note. Remind you can tune in. Stephen, real quick, when do those shows come on? Friday at 9:30. Thursday at 9:30. Friday at 8. Saturday at 8 a.m. As Steven says, Monday at noon, he thinks. Basically, just call the TV station if you start getting interested in the shows, 983-2801, and Steven can run down those times. If you're lucky, he might even put it on the website as well, so we'll think about it. But either way it goes, that's pretty much Steven's still thinking about it, but that's pretty much going to wrap up what we're going to talk about next week. We're going to try to get Coach Ray
And Coach Ray.
in here to discuss the Bruce County City playing situation, and hopefully maybe we can resolve something and come up with a big event for these two schools to play each other during the off season, I guess you can say, there in the Calhoun County area. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up. So Adam Hamilton, Stephen Chris, Jeremy Kennedy, I'm Adam Gore. We'll see you next time here on the Coaches Show.